This is the Delhi station of All India Radio. Please stand by for our next broadcast. This is All India Radio. We now take you over to Kartavya Path in New Delhi for the running commentary of the Republic Day Parade and the cultural pageant being organized on the occasion of the nation's 74th Republic Day. Our commentators are Kaushik Roy, Bhuvan Apurv Jha, Anuja Kumar and Aarti Karthik. Over to Kartavya Path.
Namaskar and a very good morning to one and all tuned into All India Radio. On the occasion of the 74th Republic Day of our great nation, we proudly welcome you to the magnificent pathway of New Delhi, the Kartavya Path. I, Anuja Kumar, along with my fellow commentators Kaushik Roy and Aarti Karthik, are privileged to be right here at the AIR booth and Bhuvan Apurv Jha at the National War Memorial, along with our program and technical team, will slowly bring to you the unfolding of the spectacular display of events which is going to take place at the iconic Kartavya Path. Today also happens to be Basant Panchami, the festival marking the end of winter season and ushering in the springtime when the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, music, Saraswati is worshipped. The color yellow holds a special meaning for this celebration, signifying the brilliance of nature and the vibrancy of life. Republic Day marks the adoption of India's constitution and the country's transition to a republic on January the 26th, 1950. It denotes the essence of unique democratic setup of our nation, showcasing of India depicted by the beautiful tableaus which will follow after the ceremonious parade. As we complete 75 years of independence, it was only fitting to shed the colonial baggage and move towards India at 100 in Amrit Kal with our own legacy. The renaming of Rajpath to Kartavya Path is a reminder that the spirit of public service is not right to rule but duty to serve. The road was initially named Kingsway during British rule, then it was called Rajpath after India attained independence, and our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi renamed it as Kartavya Path and installed a statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at the India Gate canopy as historical milestones towards erasure of colonial domination as well as testimonies to the emergence of India as a resurgent nation. This is something the Prime Minister has been writing and saying since he took power. Kaushik?
Yes, Anuja. Namaskar and heartiest Republic Day greetings from All India Radio and the Prasar Bharati Parivar to all Indians at home and abroad. We are indeed privileged to be here today at Kartavya Path, and we see normal crowds after almost 3 years of COVID-19. Almost all the newly laid stands at the Kartavya Path are full, and we see all the important dignitaries have taken their seats along the saluting days, and just across the commentary booth is the lion capital of Sarnath, India's national emblem. And what a treat to the eyes it is. Today, as Anuja pointed out, is Basant Panchami and Saraswati Puja. Ambitame Naditame Devitame Saraswati, says the Rig Veda, best of mothers, the best of rivers and the best of goddesses. And also we say that Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupeni Samastita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Ma Saraswati, also known as Ma Bharati, is the embodiment of art, culture and education of India. And on the occasion of Basant Panchami, which means that we have now bid adieu to the winter, we see the lovely flower decoration across us, where we see India's national bird, the peacock, and yellow flowers, marigold flowers, and there's a map of India, and just below the map of India is India's 5,000-year-old motto, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is but a family. The nation is celebrating her 74th Republic Day today. Thanks to our freedom fighters. And also I'd like to recall here that today is indeed a day of valor, as Pingali Venkayya's flag is fluttering atop us. The designer of India's flag, Pingali Venkaiah, whose birth centenary we celebrated some time back, and today is also the 192nd death anniversary of the great son, the great fighter of Karnataka, Krantivira Sangoli Rayanna, who was the general of Kittur Rani Chennamma. Today we need to pay our obeisances to Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Swatantra Veer Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Alluri Sitarama Raju, Madapati Hanumanta Rao, and all others. The Republic of India has traveled a lot, and as we have entered the Amrit Kal of our independence, it is time for us to rededicate ourselves for the cause of the nation. As the Prime Minister said, that we need to have 5 pran, that is Panch Pran, and the first of them is to remove the colonial mindset, the colonial servitude, and of course make India a developed nation by 2047. When US became a free country, somebody had asked Benjamin Franklin, the signer of the United States Declaration of Independence, what sort of government had been created in the United States. Franklin replied, a republic if you can keep it. Well, yes, Indian Republic has stood the test of time and continues to be a beacon to other nations who gained independence at the same time. Aarti.
மனதில் விடுதலை, வார்த்தைகளில் நம்பிக்கை, உள்ளத்தில் பெருமை பொங்க முழங்குவோம். இன்னுயிர் கொடுத்து சுதந்திரம் பெற்றுத்தந்த தியாகத் தலைவர்கள் நினைவாக சொல்லுவோம், ஜெய் ஹிந்த். Dear listeners, may we never forget the heroic sacrifices of our freedom fighters. What a lovely morning here today. Morning sunbeams peeking through the clouds, birds about their morning rituals, a gentle cool breeze, golden light everywhere covering natural and man-made creations, full of beauty and magic, filled with the promise of a new beginning. When I say a new beginning, I can see the Shram yogis who have worked hard to build Kartavya Path as today we can see. They are the special invitees. And it's an absolute privilege to be here covering the 74th Republic Day celebrations from Kartavya Path. Patriotism filled in the air and the company of my lovely, lovely co-commentators. The Republic Day celebrations include a traditional march past at Rajpath, renamed as Kartavya Path. It is all geared up for a grand parade by the contingents of the armed forces and Central Armed Police Forces. And this is for the first time that the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt has been invited as the chief guest on our Republic Day. A military contingent from Egyptian army will also participate in the Republic Day. The celebrations will be a tribute to INA veterans, people and tribal communities who participated in the freedom movement. The focus today will be on showcasing indigenous weapon systems and platforms. They will range from K9 Vajra self-propelled artillery guns, Nag anti-tank guided missiles, BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles and Akash surface-to-air missiles to the Prachand helicopter, which will take part in the flypast by 50 fighters, aircraft and choppers. The flypast will also witness the first and the last participation by the Russian origin IL-38 anti-submarine warfare aircraft, which have now been replaced by the US origin P-8I long-range maritime patrol aircraft in the Navy. And lots more, Anuja will tell you.
Yes, Aarti, from Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav last year, we have entered into Amrit Kal, a term first used by Prime Minister Modi in 2021 during the 75th Independence Day celebrations. The 25-year-long lead up to India at 100 in the year 2047, the Amrit Kal of India's independence, will not only be a period of national development and glory, but also an occasion when the country will play an important role in giving a direction to the world. India has just assumed the presidency of G20, and this also in a time when we have commenced our journey into Amrit Kal. India will play an important role in giving direction to the world, as I said. Here I quote Bapu Mahatma Gandhi, Right is duty well performed. Fundamental rights are those responsibilities that citizens should fulfill with utmost dedication and true integrity. Fulfilling fundamental duties should be the first priority of citizens to take the nation to greater heights as it marches ahead towards the centenary of its independence. They are the future leaders, the youth I'm talking about. They are the future leaders and the nation builders of the country. To put people first, the Indian government is not leaving any stone unturned, from upgrading the farm sector to bringing in the digital revolution. It is touching upon every aspect of life, creating more opportunities for the youngsters. India's thinking is to overhaul the education system as well, having a modern pedagogy system in the current decade, for which efforts are being made to provide better education to the poor, backward, and tribals, with special emphasis on rural India through steps like e-Vidya, one class, one channel, digital laboratories, and digital universities. Kaushik?
Yes, absolutely, Anuja. And talking of digital, when the world was grappling in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was India which took up the Digital India campaign under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. And today we can proudly say that India has more than 40% share of the global digital transactions, and that is more than about $7 billion. So this is something which is great. Nobody could imagine that you could buy vegetables and not pay, and it the payment for that goes directly into the account of the vendor. Anuja.
Yes, today we also recall and salute our brave soldiers, our martyrs who fought for us and even sacrificed their lives. The Indian Army is the true nobility of our country, respected and adored for their valor and sense of duty by the entire country. The brave hearts uphold the pride of our nation. And in honor of the soldiers who sacrificed their lives for the country, the National War Memorial stands proud at the heart of Delhi, invoking a deep pride in visitors. It is dedicated to the soldiers who gave their lives during the India-China War and other wars, and of course also in the Kargil conflict of 1999. We have our colleague Bhuvanapur Jha, located right there at the National War Memorial, to give us an eyewitness account of the solemn wreath-laying ceremony by our Prime Minister for the soldiers. Over to Bhuvanapur Jha.
Vande Mataram. Namaskar, good morning, and once again on behalf of the entire Akashvani and Prasar Bharati Parivar, I am Bhuvan Apurva Jha, extending my heartiest felicitations and warmest greetings to all listening in on our 74th Republic Day. Ladies and gentlemen, in the most sacred of Republic Day traditions, Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi will lead the nation in paying homage to our valiant martyrs. The National War Memorial inspires a deep sense of veneration for our martyrs. Their names are etched in gold here. The National War Memorial has been designed as a place where we do not mourn the death, but instead celebrate the life of the soldiers and pay our respects to the sacrifices made by them. Perhaps that is why one of the founding fathers of our republic has said, "Who lives when India dies? Who dies when India lives?" Dear listeners, these are hallowed grounds that people tread with reverence and gratitude as we remember those who live eternally in another realm but are never too far from our thoughts. Their memory pervades the collective consciousness of the country and continues to inspire generations to come. Dear listeners, if I may inform you, on this cool, overcast morning here in New Delhi, the National War Memorial Complex appears to be in complete harmony with the existing layout and symmetry of the majestic Kartavya Path and the central vista. The solemnity of the ambience is maintained with an emphasis on landscaping and the simplicity of the architecture. Apart from the main memorial, there is a dedicated area for busts of soldiers who have been conferred with the Param Veer Chakra, the nation's highest gallantry award. The design of the main memorial exemplifies that supreme sacrifice made by a soldier in the line of duty not only makes him immortal, but also depicts that the spirit of a soldier remains eternal. The National War Memorial, ladies and gentlemen, has a distinct scheme of concentric circles, Amar Chakra, or the Circle of Immortality. The Amar Chakra has an obelisk with the eternal flame, the flame symbolizing the immortality of the spirit of the fallen soldiers, with the assurance that the nation shall never forget their sacrifices. Thereafter, we have the Tyag Chakra, or the Circle of Sacrifice. The Tyag Chakra has circular concentric walls of honor which symbolize the ancient war formation Chakravyu. The walls are clad with granite tablets, where an independent granite tablet is dedicated to each soldier who has made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. Each name on the tablet, dear listener, is etched in aurum. Next up, we have the Virta Chakra, or the Circle of Bravery. The Virta Chakra depicts the bravery of Indian forces in the form of a covered gallery that exhibits 6 murals crafted in bronze depicting valiant battle actions of the Indian armed forces. And finally, there is the Raksha Chakra, or the Circle of Protection. The outermost circle is made of rows of trees, a reassurance to the citizens of the country about their safety against any external or internal threat, with each tree representing the soldier who ensures the territorial integrity of the nation round the clock. And for the listeners who are just joining us in this special Republic Day broadcast on All India Radio, I am able to inform you that Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi will lead the nation in paying tribute to our immortal brave hearts on behalf of a grateful nation in a solemn ceremony to be held at the National War Memorial in a short while from now. The live and exclusive radio broadcast of which continues on the national network of All India Radio and our official app News on AIR. I'm able to inform you, dear listeners, that the carcade of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will be arriving at the National War Memorial in a few moments from now. Honorable Prime Minister will be received by Raksha Mantri, Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh, Raksha Rajya Mantri, Minister of State for Defence Shri Ajay Bhatt, Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, PVSM, UYSM, AVSM, SM, VSM, the Tri-Services Chiefs, Chief of the Army Staff General Manoj Pandey, PVSM, AVSM, VSM, ADC, Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral R. Harikumar, PVSM, AVSM, VSM, ADC, Chief of the Air Staff Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary, PVSM, AVSM, VM, ADC, and the Defence Secretary Raksha Sachiv Shri Girdhar Armane. After that, ladies and gentlemen, the 74th Republic Day function will commence with Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi paying homage to our martyrs on behalf of a grateful nation in a solemn function at the National War Memorial, the Rashtriya Samar Smarak. The Inter-Services Guards will be formed by 7 soldiers from each service, the Indian Army, the Indian Navy, and the Indian Air Force. This year, may I inform you, the Guards are being commanded by an officer of the Indian Air Force, Squadron Leader Akash Gangas. When the Honorable Prime Minister lays the wreath, the Inter-Services Guards will present Salami Shastra, followed by Shok Shastra. Simultaneously, the buglers will sound the last post. The sound of the buglers playing the last post has become one of the most distinctive sounds in the world. Eerie and evocative, it exists beyond barriers and boundaries of region, religion, race, and class, charged with the memory of generations of the fallen. Thereafter, dear listeners, 2 minutes of silence will be observed, after which the buglers will sound the rouse and the guards will present Salami Shastra again. The rouse, or the first call of the day, signifies the soldier's rebirth into eternal life. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will then move to the digital visitors book within the National War Memorial Complex to endorse his remarks on this solemn occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I can inform you that since independence, more than 26,000 soldiers of the Indian Armed Forces have made the supreme sacrifice to defend the sovereignty and integrity of the Republic of India. The National War Memorial thus represents the gratitude of a nation to its armed forces. The memorial helps strengthen the sense of belonging, high moral values, sacrifice, and national pride in our citizens from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kathiawar to Kamrup, and beyond. Who can forget the heroic acts of Major Somnath Sharma, whose actions to repel illegal invaders from across the western borders saw him conferred with India's first Paramveer Chakra, the country's highest military decoration. The nation still remembers with reverence and gratitude the heroic deeds of Major Shaitan Singh at Rezangla in 1962, when despite being outnumbered, he led his troops with unparalleled distinction and showed conspicuous bravery in the face of the enemy, keeping in line with the highest traditions of the Indian Armed Forces, ultimately making the supreme sacrifice for the country. Our hearts swell with pride when we remember Major Dhan Singh Thapa's heroic actions, repelling several waves of enemy attack, finally eliminating several aggressors in hand-to-hand combat in 1962. Our heads bow in reverence when we recall the heroic actions of Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid, a brave heart who in the War of 1965 destroyed multiple enemy pattern tanks in the Kemkaran sector as if he were to be swatting flies. On this day, we also recall the actions of Captain Vikram Batra, who achieved the impossible in a daring attack against the aggressors in 1999. In a fierce hand-to-hand combat, he eliminated 5 enemy soldiers, thereby getting awarded the Paramveer Chakra posthumously. The National War Memorial houses the busts of 21 of India's finest bravehearts at the Param Yodha Sthal, all recipients of the Paramveer Chakra. Dear listeners, I wouldn't be amiss to add that when we talk of Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India can only be built on foundations of regional and global security, and our brave hearts are a true testimony to efforts in that direction. And for those of you who are just joining us in this live and exclusive radio broadcast on All India Radio, I can inform you that Honorable Prime Minister's carcade is about to reach the main gate of National War Memorial, wherein he
2 मिनट की
The
मौन
buglers
श्रद्धांजलि
sounding the rouse, the guard commander, squadron leader Akash Gangas ordering Salami Shastra, marking the completion of the 2 minute silence. When words stand still and hearts beat strong, a silent flame lifts into song. A billion prayers in reverence call, the silence quietly saying it all. Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi now moving to endorse his remarks in the digital visitors book at the National War Memorial for penning his thoughts, his observations, his gratitude to the countless soldiers who have made the supreme sacrifice for the country and continue to live in our hearts. Dear listeners, time leaves us with many things: stories, memories, and heroes. It is indeed a poignant moment for the Prime Minister as the head of the political executive of the largest global democracy to lead the nation in paying homage to our heroes who laid down their lives so that our India may prosper and be home to generations of enlightened world citizens. I join you, my dear listener, in expressing my gratitude and admiration for our women and men in uniform. Our brave hearts keep watch, even now, at this very moment, over snow laden mountains, sandy dunes, and our extensive coastlines, standing tall and strong for the nation. It would be most pertinent to mention, dear listeners, that the nation has different way of respecting and recognizing sacrifice. To pay homage to our fallen bravehearts just prior to celebrating our republic is a heartfelt way of expressing reverence and gratitude to those souls who sacrificed their all to safeguard the sovereignty of Ma Bharati. Honorable Prime Minister now moving to endorse the digital visitors book, after which the solemn ceremony at the National War Memorial will draw to a close. Thereafter, Honorable Prime Minister will depart for the saluting days on the hallowed boulevard that is Kartavya Path, where he will receive the honored guest for the 74th Republic Day, His Excellency Abdel Fattah el Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, and the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. After that, ladies and gentlemen, the most spectacular pageant of the Republic will unfold before all of us on the majestic, hallowed boulevard that is Kartavya Path. Soon will come the horses clip-clopping, the young women and men in uniform energetically stamping their feet on the asphalt and swinging their arms in unison to the rhythmic beating of the drums, military bands playing rousing nationalistic tunes, rolling tanks, thundering aircraft, ornate tableau showcasing a unity in diversity, and so much more. Oh, and did I mention that our pride and our adversaries' envy, the Rafale, will also be making an appearance later this morning. Stay tuned as the grand celebration of our Republic, our people, and our Constitution begins on our 74th Republic Day, the live and exclusive broadcast of which continues on the national network of All India Radio. On that note, dear listeners, this is Bhuvan Apurvacha signing off from the National War Memorial and taking you back to my colleagues at the majestic boulevard that is Kartavya Path. Over to saluting days.
Thank you so much, Bhuvan, for giving us a live update from National War Memorial. Let's bow to all the valiant soldiers who fought for India till the very last breath. May their heroic sacrifices always inspire us to forever protect the glory of our nation. Arms and equipments have changed from swords to missiles, from slingshots to rifles, and from horses to tanks, but the spirit and courage of soldiers has remained unchanged. The men of our country have proved their mettle and have guarded the frontiers, be in the burning deserts or snow-clad mountains, fast-flowing rivers or thick, impenetrable jungles. Nothing has ever proved to be a barrier for these gallant soldiers. The Indian Armed Forces continue to render selfless service to the nation and its countrymen, ensuring stability and dominance on the frontiers along the LOC, LAC, and worldwide through UN peacekeeping missions. People's Army, Indian Army, ensured that the internal situation in the Jammu and Kashmir remained under control. Significantly, the situation at LOC remained peaceful with only minor violations recorded during 2022. Security situation in Jammu and Kashmir has witnessed a consistent improvement ever since abrogation of Article 370. The whole of nation's approach has resulted in reduction of violence, stone pelting, as well as agitations. Incipient normalcy has brought the focus back on tourism, which witnessed 3.65 lakh pilgrims visiting the holy Amarnath shrine and an ancient free yatra. Okay, so now we are going to be waiting for the arrival of all the service chiefs, followed by the Raksha Mantri. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the situation in northern and northeastern region through the unpredictable but remains under control as the forces maintain a robust defensive posture. And now we can see that the service chiefs are arriving. Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, PVSM, AVSM, VM, ADC has arrived. He took over as the Chief of the Air Staff on 30th September 2021. An alumnus of the National Defence Academy, the Chief has a rich and varied experience of operational flying, having flown over 3,800 hours. And now we can see Admiral R. Harikumar, PVSM, AVSM, VSM, the Chief of Naval Staff, an alumnus of J Squadron 61 course, National Defence Academy. And now we can see General Manoj Pandey, PVSM, AVSM, VSM, ADC arrive on the Kartavya Path. He assumed the appointment of the Chief of the Army Staff on 30th April 2022. And now, listeners, we are awaiting the arrival of General Anil Chauhan, PVSM, UISM, AVSM, SM, VSM, the Chief of the Defence Staff. He assumed the appointment on 30th September 2022 and he has arrived. Followed by, we are awaiting the arrival of Sri Girdhar Armane. He is a 1988 batch IAS officer of Andhra Pradesh cadre. He assumed the office of the Defence Secretary on November 1st, 2022. All the service chiefs, along with the Chief of Defence Staff, will now welcome the Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh. Born in a farmer's family at village Babhora, district Varanasi, he completed his MSc Physics from Gorakhpur University, Uttar Pradesh. Shri Rajnath Singh has been the Union Minister for Ministry of Defence from May 31st, 2019. And now,
Yes, thank you, Aarti. And we see that the Raksha Rajya Mantri Shri Anil Bhatt has arrived at the saluting days, and the three service chiefs and the CDS is also here. The Raksha Mantri, Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh has just arrived at the saluting days, and we can now inform our listeners that the Prime Ministerial motorcade is inching towards the saluting base. The lead car has just passed our commentator's booth at the Kartavya Path, and all the dignitaries will be welcoming the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. And India is celebrating its 74th Republic Day today. We can see that the Prime Ministerial vehicle is slowly coming towards the saluting base, followed by the security personnel, and the crowds here are cheering. We have lots and lots of crowd here due to the COVID regulations being gone, and we can also inform that the special guests of this year's Republic Day, the Shram Yogis who are present here and who gave their everything in making this Kartavya Path, are cheering the Prime Minister's arrival at the saluting days. The Prime Minister's vehicle has now come to a halt at the Kartavya Path just in front of the saluting base, and the Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh is there to receive the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. And now the car door opens, and there is the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, greeting the Raksha Mantri and is going towards the saluting base as our colleague Bhuvan Apurva towards the enclosure where his cabinet colleagues are seated. The Prime Minister greeting them warmly, and the cabinet ministers of India, the ministers of state and other dignitaries are also exchanging a few words with the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. We can now see the Honorable Prime Minister just in front of the AIR commentator booth, and he is greeting his cabinet colleagues, is exchanging a few words with the Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, and the Prime Minister is now going back towards the saluting dais where he and the Raksha Mantri, the Raksha Rajya Mantri, the three service chiefs and the Chief of Defence Staff and the Defence Secretary will now welcome the Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, and after that the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, who is also the Supreme Commander of India's Armed Forces. And this time, as Apurva informed all of us, that the chief guest of this year's Republic Day function is the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The Honorable Prime Minister exchanging a few words with the Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh, and meanwhile we can see the Vice Presidential motorcade is approaching towards the saluting base from the Raisina Hills side, and the lead vehicle of the Vice Presidential motorcade has just crossed our commentary booth, and the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh and the Raksha Rajya Mantri Shri Ajay Bhatt will be welcoming the Vice President of India. We now see the Vice Presidential vehicle coming towards the saluting base, and the vehicle has now come to a halt, and the Honorable Prime Minister is receiving the Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, as the 1982 Asiad welcome song Swagatam Ata Swagatam is being played in the background. The Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, greeting the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and Mrs. Dhankar is also being greeted by the Prime Minister, and the other dignitaries are also greeting the Vice President of India and Mrs. Dhankar. And in just a short while from now, we can see the motorcade of the President of India, Honorable Srimati Draupadi Murmu, is making its way towards Kartavya Path's saluting days. And Aarti.
Yes, the President of India arriving escorted by the President's bodyguard on their magnificent bay and dark bay colored mounts. It's a sight to see, dear listeners. The President's bodyguard is the senior-most regiment of the Indian Army, and the President's bodyguard has just entered its 250th year since its raising in 1773 at Varanasi. We can see the Commandant of the President's bodyguard, Colonel Anup Tiwari, is riding to the right of the President's car, leading this elite body of horsemen mounted on his charger. Glorious. To the left of the President's car is the second in command of the regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Ramakant Yadav, mounted on his charger. Sultan. The President's bodyguard is unique and distinct amongst all regiments, not only in India, but also in the whole world.
Yes, absolutely, Aarti, and this regiment will be celebrating 250 years of its establishment this very year. And now the presidential limousine is coming to a halt at the saluting base. the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, will now receive the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, and the presidential limousine has come to a stop, and the President of India, Honorable Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the Supreme Commander of India's Armed Forces, being greeted by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and the President and the Prime Minister will now receive the chief guest of this year's Republic Day function, His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, and President al-Sisi and the Prime Minister having a warm chat, and now the Raksha Mantri shakes hands with President al-Sisi, as does the Raksha Raja Mantri Shri Ajay Bhatt, and the service chiefs are also saluting and shaking hands with the chief guest for this year's Republic Day ceremony, His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt. And dear listeners, we would like to also inform you that this year, India and Egypt are celebrating 75 years of the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. Anuja.
Yes, Kaushik, the Republic Day celebration will start today only after our Honorable President, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, unfurls the tricolour. The unfurling of the national flag by the President of India is a big moment of the Republic Day celebrations. The Indian flag represents the hopes and aspirations of the people of India, a symbol of national pride. The unfurling of the national flag on Republic Day is a significant way to show respect to the nation. The tricolour is a symbol of the nation's pride, the integrity, the unity, the prosperity. And as the President alights the stairs, we are all waiting for the flag to be unfurled now. And immediately after the flag is unfurled, the national anthem will be sung in united voice along with the band playing the tune, exuberating love, pride and emotions of the citizens. It was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose who translated the original song in Bangla into Hindi. We will also hear the unmistakable booms of artillery guns firing in the background. The 21-gun salute is presented by Ceremonial Battery of 871 Field Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Vikas Kumar, SM. And now we are just waiting for the unfurling of the national flag. The crowd here all
Yes, Anuja, you're
up.
absolutely right. And every person here is standing and with great expectation that the that was Colonel
The thumping sound is a mark of respect both to our President as the head of our state and to our national flag. It was for the first time the 21-gun salute will be given with 105mm Indian field guns on Kartavya Path, and it replaces the vintage 25-pounder gun. As the flag has been unfurled now, the real march, the real celebration will soon begin at this Kartavya Path today, and we are all awaiting that. This 21-gun salute and the unfurling of the flag is all a constant feature of all our Republic Days, a day of patriotic fervor, parade and celebration, and acknowledgement of the sovereignty of our people.
Yes, Anuja, and we now see the parade commander, Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth, Ativishya Seva Medal, Major General Officer commanding Delhi area, is coming towards the saluting base, and he will lead the parade this year. And he is atop his vehicle and is slowly approaching the saluting base. And it's a bit cloudy this morning here in Delhi. However, the spirits are extremely high, and General Dheeraj Seth belongs to the 2nd Lancers, and he is coming towards the saluting base and will offer his salute to the Supreme Commander. That was General Dheeraj Seth saluting the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. Aarti?
Well, now we can see that the parade second in command is moving towards the saluting days. Major General Bhavnish Kumar.
Yes, he was commanded the 5th Battalion of the Kumaon Regiment as part of the Strike Corps on Western Front and also a Mountain Division on the Northern Front. The General Officer has also tenanted numerous important staff and instructional tenures in his distinguished career. He is an alumnus of the Defence Services Staff College, Army War College and National Defence College. Major General Bhavnish Kumar approaching the saluting days, the parade second in command, or what is known as the 2IC, will now salute the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces. And there is Major General Bhavnish Kumar saluting the Supreme Commander of India's Armed Forces, the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu.
Followed by, now we can see that the march past begins with the awardees of Paramveer Chakra and Ashok Chakra. Subedar Major Honorary Captain Bana Singh, Paramveer Chakra, retired, 8 Jack Light Infantry. Subedar Major Honorary Captain Yoginder Singh Yadav, Paramveer Chakra, 18 Grenadiers, retired. Subedar Major Sanjay Kumar, Paramveer Chakra, 13 Jack Rif. And they are following the parade commander in their respective gypsies. And behind them we can see the winners of Ashok Chakra. Major General C.A. Pitawala, Ashok Chakra, retired. Colonel D. Sri Ram Kumar, the winner of the Ashok Chakra. Lieutenant Colonel Jasram Singh, Ashok Chakra, retired. Dear listeners, the Paramveer Chakra is awarded for the most conspicuous act of bravery.
Yes, indeed. And the Paramveer Chakra winners are now saluting their Supreme Commander, the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu.
Marching
Anuja.
towards the saluting days on the Kartavya Path for the first time is the combined band and marching contingent of the oldest regular army known to humanity, the Egyptian army, led by Colonel Mahmoud Muhammad Abdel Fattah al-Kharaswi. The military parade group of the Egyptian Armed Forces consists of 144 soldiers representing the main branches of the Egyptian Armed Forces, reflecting the greatness of the Egyptian state and its pride in its ancient history. The Egyptian contingent today carries the legacy of one of the oldest regular armies known to humanity. The modern Egyptian army was established during the rule of Muhammad Ali Pasha, who is widely considered the founder of modern Egypt. Here, the marching contingent goes right in front of our eyes, in unison, swinging their arms and fluttering flags with them.
And now the first contingent in the uniform of the 61st Cavalry, led by Captain Raizada Shaurya Bali, The 61st Cavalry was raised in 1953. It is the only serving active horsed cavalry regiment in the world with the amalgamation of all the state horse units. It is the unique distinction of leading the last recorded cavalry charge in history when it took on the Turks at the Battle of Haifa on the 23rd of September 1918. This day is also celebrated as its Battle Honor Day, the Haifa Day. The motto of the 61st Cavalry, also known as the Army Mounted Columns, is Ashwa Shakti Yashobal, which means horsepower is forever supreme. And they are now going to salute the Supreme Commander.
रास्ते की कमान कैप्टन रायजादा शौर्य बाली संभाल रहे हैं विश्व में अपनी तरफ की अकेली सक्रिय घुड़सवार रेजिमेंट होने का गौरव हासिल 1 अगस्त
Dear listeners, now the mechanized columns begin. It begins with MBT Arjun. The next detachment is of Main Battle Tank Arjun of 75 Armored Regiment led by Captain Amanjeet Singh. State-of-the-art MBT Arjun is the third generation main battle tank developed indigenously by India's Defence Research and Development Organization. Arjun features a 120 mm main rifled gun. The newly developed Kanchan armor provides an all-round anti-tank warhead protection, much higher than available in comparable third-generation tanks. The motto is Sahasam Vijayate. Let me tell you a little more about this. The four-man crew MBT is augmented with an array of systems including fire control system, integrated fire detection and suppression system and NBC protection systems. And now they go past the saluting days.
And the next detachment is of Nag missile system of 17 Mechanized Infantry Regiment led by Lieutenant Siddharth Tyagi.
Yes, we see that the columns are coming and they are tipping their turrets before the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, that is the President of India, in salute. What a sight indeed, Anuja.
Yes, so we were talking about Nag missile system, or it is also called NAMIS. The system, popularly called NAMIS, is a tank destroyer indigenously designed by the Defence Research and Development Laboratory, Hyderabad. The Nag missile is a fire and forget ATGM with an effective range of 5 kilometers. The tandem warhead with capability to lock on before launch and top attack accurately hits the targets that are moving or trying to escape. There it comes right in front of our eyes, slowly moving towards the President's saluting base.
Yes, the Nag missile system of 17 Mechanized Infantry Regiment led by Lieutenant Siddharth Tyagi has just crossed, and it's a replica of the missile system. And now we have the 6 Nag anti-tank guided missile. These guns are here and they are now approaching the saluting days. It is known as the BMP 2x2 and led by Captain Arjun Sidhu of the 6th Mechanized Infantry. And the ICV BMP known as Sarathi, the turrets are towards the saluting bays and the turrets are now tipping in salute to the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. What a sight it is indeed, in perfect harmony, in perfect unison.
Now we can see the Quick Reaction Fighting Vehicle, QRFV. It is being led by Captain Naveen Dhattirwal of 3 Ladakh Scouts Regiment. Their war cry is Ki Soso Lahar Gyalo, which means victory to God. Now they go past the saluting days.
Yes, these are the main machines of the Indian Armed Forces, and it is indeed a sight to see. The Quick Reaction Fighting Vehicle, the QRFV, is just past the saluting base. Anuja?
The next detachment is of K9 Vajra T of 224 Medium Regiment, self-propelled, led by Lieutenant Prakhar Tiwari. K9 Vajra caliber tracked self-propelled has a firing range of 40 kilometers. The tracked self-propelled gun system can move at a maximum speed of 60 kilometers an hour over arid desert terrain. And the motto is Sarvada Sarva Pratham, which means always the first. And there it is slowly gliding towards the saluting base. And the tunnel, the tanker's tunnel, is slowly dipping towards the president to take the salute.
And now comes India's supersonic missile system, the BrahMos. It has been led by Lieutenant Prajwal Kala, and BrahMos' motto was Swamiye Sharanam Ayyappa, as it was developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization. This is one of India's most important defense systems. The BrahMos system is crossing the saluting base as Lieutenant Prajwal Kala offers his salute to his Supreme Commander, the President of India.
And the next detachment is of a 10-meter short span bridge of 64 Assault Engineer Regiment. It is being led by Captain Shivashish Solanki. The motto is Agrani Ajay, which means always leading and unconquerable. The regiment will celebrate 50 years of glorious history on 30th of September 2023. And now they go past the saluting days.
And the next detachment is of Mobile Microwave Node and Mobile Network Center of Corps of Signals, led by Major Muhammad Asif Ahmed of 2AHQ Signal Regiment. The column consists of 2 vehicles, a mobile microwave node along with mobile network center. Major Mahima Kataria of 2AHQ Signal Regiment is in charge of the mobile network center. The vehicle can operate an optical, microwave and satellite media to provide triple play services to include voice, data and video to field formations in active hostilities. They are going towards the saluting days. The motto is Tivra Chaukas, which means swift and secure. And there the commander is saluting the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces.
And following it is Akash, is one of the most important weapon systems of the 27 Air Defense Missile Regiment, the Amritsar Airfield. The Akash Army Radar and the system is led by Captain Sunil Dasharthe, accompanied by Lieutenant Chetna Sharma of the 502 Light AD Missile Regiment. The motto of Akash is Akash Shun Jahi, and the Akash system, the Akash Army Radar and the Akash Army Launcher. These mean machines are going past the saluting base as Captain Sunil Dasharthe and Lieutenant Chetna Sharma salute their Supreme Commander, the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. And what a parade it has been, full of valor, full of might, because India believes that might acts as a deterrence, and India is a peaceful country. It has never waged a single war in its more than 5,000 year history. And everyone is now looking towards the new next contingent that is going to come, and we are seeing that all the people are taking pictures and recording videos as the superb march past is going on here at the Kartavya Path. And the next contingent is on the Kartavya Path
Is of the marching contingents, the Mechanized Infantry Regiment. The proud contingent of Mechanized Infantry Regiment, commanded by Captain Harshdeep Singh Sohi of the 23 Mechanized Infantry Battalion. The Mechanized Infantry, aptly dubbed as tomorrow's regiment in today's army, is the youngest regiment of the Indian Army. Though youngest, it boasts of some of the finest and highly decorated erstwhile infantry battalions being part of its folds, and it's a force to reckon with, ready to deliver the coup de grace in any future battlefield milieu. Regimental colors of red, black and gold epitomize valor, faith and sacrifice. The motto is Valor and Faith, which means Veerta or Vishwas.
now come the combined band of the Armed Corps Center and School, Parachute Regimental Center and Rajputana Rifles Regimental Center. They are being led by Subedar Rajendra, Rajputana Rifles Regimental Center, and assisted by Naib Risaldar Mantu Mondal of the Armored Corps Center and School, and the band is playing the tune Sher-e-Jawan.
Marching smartly now is the Punjab Regiment. It is being commanded by Captain Aman Jagtap of 23 Punjab Regiment, Longewala. The Punjab Regiment is the only infantry regiment to have naval insignia, the galley, which was awarded in 1839 in recognition of its volunteering to sail overseas first time during the First Burmese War and overcoming the religious tattoo of Kala Patri.
The galley, which was awarded in 1839 in recognition of its volunteering to sail overseas first time during the First Burmese War. Motto of the regiment, Pushki Vatari Talvajal, which means by land and sea.
The next contingent is of the Maratha Light Infantry led by Captain Shashwat Singh Dabas of the 2nd Battalion of Maratha Light Infantry. The Maratha Light Infantry is one of the oldest and most decorated regiment of the Indian Army. Its glorious history spans over 254 years. The 1st Battalion was raised in August 1768. The motto, duty, honor, courage. And the war cry, Bol Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ki Jai.
Coming up next is the combined band of the Rajput Regimental Center, Sikh Regimental Center and Sikh Light Infantry Regimental Center. And the band is led by Subedar Kulwant Singh of the Sikh Regimental Center, assisted by Naib Subedar Jatinder Singh of Sikh LI, and the band is playing the tune Appu. Here it approaches the saluting base.
And now we can see the Dogra Regiment approaching the saluting days, which is led by Captain Varun Singh of 21st Battalion of the Dogra Regiment. The motto is Kartavyam Anvatma, which means duty before death. Their war cry is Jwala Mata Ki Jai.
We sing a song of unity for the entire nation. We are the Tigers of Mountains. We are the Dogra Regiment, led by Captain Varun Singh of 21st Battalion Dogra Regiment. Dogra Regiment is one of the most prestigious and decorated regiments of the Indian Army.
And coming next towards the saluting days is the contingent of the Bihar Regiment led by Major Ratnesh Tiwari from the 12th Battalion of the Bihar Regiment. Presently, the regiment comprises of 50% of Biharis and 50% Adivasi troops hailing mostly from Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, as well as areas of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Eastern Uttar Pradesh and tribal belts of West Bengal, Rajasthan. And the motto is Karm Hi Dharm, and the war cry Bol Bajrang Bali Ki Jai.
The Bihar Regiment saluting the Supreme Commander, the President of India, Her Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmu. And now we have the combined band from the Assam Regimental Center, the Mahar Regimental Center and the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles Regimental Center. It is being led by Subedar Major Digger Singh of the Mahar Regimental Center. The band is playing the tune Veer Kargil as they approach the saluting days.
And now we can see the Gorkha Brigade. It is being commanded by Lieutenant Indrajit Singh Sirkawar of 3rd Battalion of the 9 Gorkha Rifles. Their motto is Kafar Hunu Bhanda Marmu Ramro, which means better to die than live like a coward. Their war cry is Jai Mahakali, Ayo Gorkhali. The Gorkha Brigade has a strength of 44 battalions, including 3 Rashtriya Rifles battalions. The tenacity and bravery of Gorkhas was aptly described by Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw.
गोरखा ब्रिगेड भारत और नेपाल के बीच मजबूत सांस्कृतिक और ऐतिहासिक संबंधों का प्रमाण है। उत्तरी और गोरखा के बीच का रिश्ता पुरातन है और
And from marching contingents, now we are giving way to the tableaus. The tableau marking of recognition of the endeavors by the veterans in crafting the glorious 75 years of independence and their initiatives underway in shaping India's destiny during the Amrit Kal. The veterans tableau, based on the theme.
Saluting days, and the Indian Navy Naval Band comprises of 80 musicians led by M. Anthony Raj, Master Chief Petty Officer, Musician Second Class. They are playing the Indian Navy song Jai Bharati. So appropriate indeed. And now we have the Indian Navy's marching contingent of 144 young sailors led by Lieutenant Commander Disha Amrit as contingent commander and Lieutenant Ashwini Singh, Lieutenant Priyanka Sharma.
What a crisp salute that was, and now we can see Indian Navy tableau. The tableau based on the theme Indian Navy, combat ready, credible, cohesive and future-proof. The tableau commanders are Lieutenant Commander Inderjeet Singh Chauhan and Lieutenant Varsha Shinde. Also present on the tableau for the first time are two Agniveer women, Tannu Vishwakarma and Pradisha AP. And here they go for their salute.
And indeed the tableau is beautiful, Aarti, because we see the Kalvari class submarine depicted here, the NIIO projects, then the naval helicopters on rescue mission. What a sight indeed.
Absolutely.
Anuja.
Yes, and there we can see the Indian Air Force Band led by Warrant Officer Ashok Kumar and playing the tune Sound Barrier Quick March. The band comprises of 3 drum majors and 72 musicians. The commanders twirling and swirling their batons, and the trumpets gleaming and shining throughout. The IAF marching contingent comprising of 144 air warriors and 4 officers led by squadron leader Sindhu Reddy is marching past the Kartavya path. The 3 supernumerary officers marching behind the contingent commander are Flight Lieutenant Ayush Agarwal, Flight Lieutenant Tanuj Malik and Flight Lieutenant Pradhan Nikhil.
The 3 supernumerary officers of the IAF marching contingent behind the contingent commander are Flight Lieutenant Ayush Agarwal, Flight Lieutenant Tanuj Malik
And as the Air Force contingent salutes the Supreme Commander, we see the tableau of the Indian Air Force, and its motto is Bharatiya Vayu Sena Aseem Shakti, IAF Power Beyond Boundaries. And we have seen the power of the Indian Air Force. They have played a great role in all the wars, and here depicted on the tableau are the mean machines, the helicopters. We see the Sukhoi and also other aircrafts, and they are being followed by a team of Garud in combat gear, and these are the team which perform most scintillating battles in the air. They are saluting their Supreme Commander.
Dear listeners, now we can see Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, securing nation with effective surveillance, communication and neutralizing threats, marching now on Kartavya Path. Their theme is, like I said, securing nation with effective surveillance. This tableau is captioned by Saurav Verma, Scientist E, showcases various technologies for surveillance, communication, neutralization of enemy threats in the sky, on surface and underwater.
Moving silently and swiftly next on Kartavya Path, captained by R.R. More, Scientist, is the Wheeled Armored Personnel Carrier, carried on a specialist 70-ton trailer. WAP is a modular 8x8 wheeled combat platform. The 70-ton trailer is equipped with state-of-the-art hydraulic suspension for better mobility, steerable axles and hydraulic ramp for ease of loading and unloading of heavy payloads.
Yes, Anuja. The Defense Research and Development Organization is indeed a pride of India, and they are always working to make India's armed forces the next gen forces and intelligent forces, because today's army needs to be of next gen, and we have seen lots of changes in how warfare goes on everywhere. India, though, is a peace-loving country and has always been peaceful, but has to remain on guard. And we now see the paramilitary and other auxiliary civil forces coming in, and marching in is the Assam Rifle Marching Contingent and the Assam Rifles Band. The Assam Rifle is known as the Friends of the Northeast. This is a very gallant soldiers contingent. This is magnificently called the Sentinels of the Northeast, and has been the first responders during any natural calamity. The contingent is led by Captain Akshay and comprises of soldiers recruited from all over the country, thus strengthening the belief in unity in diversity. The Assam Rifles Band is following, and the motto of the Assam Rifle says Kartavyam Sarvottam, and the war cry is Durga Mata Ki Jai. Assam Rifles Marching Contingent and Rifles Band approaching the saluting days.
4 अशोक चक्र, 35 कीर्ति चक्र, 5 वीर चक्र, 422 सेना मेडल, आदर्श, कर्तव्य, सर्वोत्तम, युद्ध घोष, दुर्गा माता की।
And the Rifles Band, their band is also playing their war cry Durga Mata Ki Jai, and as Anuja is apt to say, the trumpets are gleaming and the drums are as white as can they possibly be. The Rifles Band approaching the saluting base to salute the Supreme Commander.
We can see the Indian Coast Guard marching contingent now. Sentinels of our seas contingent is led by Deputy Commandant Rohit Singh, followed by Deputy Commandant Akin Zutshi. Two lady officers of the Guard Assistant Commandant Mansi Shaler and Assistant Commandant Nimisha Soparkar. Indian Coast Guard is the first force to employ women in operational role at sea.
And now we see approaching towards us the Central Reserve Police Post Band, led by Inspector Shamsher Lal, consisting of 102 personnel, that is playing the tune Desh Ke Hum Hai Rakshak. Slowly they are approaching towards us, towards the AIR booth, and going towards the saluting base.
Yes, Anuja, and following the Central Reserve Police marching contingent is also there, and CRPF, as we know, plays a very pivotal role, and they are known as the service and loyalty is their motto, and they are known as the Desh Ke Rakshak, the Central Reserve Police Force Band saluting the Supreme Commander.
Yes, Kaushik, it is an all-women contingent from CRPF, peacekeepers of the nation, led by Assistant Commandant Poonam Gupta. So this time we are totally into Nari Shakti. Women personnel of CRPF have earned 5 gallantry medals, 5 distinguished medals and 63 meritorious medals. They have displayed finest professionalism as part of IPKF in Sri Lanka.
Yes, it is indeed Nari Shakti, as you mentioned, Anuja, and on this day of Basant Panchami and Saraswati Puja, it is but apt to pray to the Nari Shakti. After all, Nari Shakti, as per our holy text, is the most important Shakti, and that is the destroyer of all evil. Following the CRPF Nari Shakti contingent is the Railway Protection Force band, and Constable Suresh Chand Saini is leading the RPF brass band, and they are playing the tune Gangotri as they approach the saluting days. And after the Railway Protection Force band is the Railway Protection Force marching contingent. It is led by Assistant Security Commissioner Saurav Kumar. It is known as the Armed Force of the Union, and more than 74,000 protection force has been protecting India's railways, the lifeline of India. And their motto is Seva Hi Sankalp. Aarti.
Yes, now we can see the Delhi Police Band. Bandmaster Inspector Rajendra Singh leads the Delhi Police Band, comprising of 1 inspector, 9 sub-inspectors, 9 assistant sub-inspectors, 15 head constables and 42 constables. The Delhi Police Woman Pipe Band, comprising of 35 women constables, is participating in Republic Day Parade for the very first time. The band is playing the Delhi Police song, and you have to see their josh, dear listeners. Following them is the Delhi Police marching contingent, and the parade is led by Assistant Commissioner of Police Shweta K. Sugathan, IPS, and this is what you call Nari Shakti right here. Their motto is Shanti Seva Nyay, which means peace, service and justice.
And now coming in front of us are the regal camels of the BSF under the command of Deputy Commandant Manohar Singh Khichi. For the first time, female camel riders on their decorated camels, followed by the caravan, are participating in the Republic Day Parade this year, showcasing the theme of empowerment of Indian women in various fields. Yes, Nari Shakti again. These ships of the desert are the only dependable companions of the bordermen in the Thar deserts of Rajasthan.
And the BSF camel contingent, whose motto is Jeevan Paryant Kartavya, offered their salute to their Supreme Commander. And what a display of their guns, the 81mm mortars, 51mm mortars, Anuja, 7.62 MMG, and also here we can see stretchers on the backs of camel for evacuation. It is indeed a sight to see, Anuja and Aarti. And following this is the BSF Camel Band, the only kind of its band here anywhere in the world, the camel mounted band of the BSF. This has 35 band players and is being led by Bandmaster Sub-Inspector Bodhraj, and they are playing the tune Hum Hai Seema Suraksha Bal Bahaduron Ka Dal. BSF Camel Band saluting their Supreme Commander.
And now
Aarti.
we can see NCC boys marching contingent. Smartly and crisply they are walking towards the saluting days. And it is being led by Senior Under Officer Pujari Shivanand of NCC Directorate, Maharashtra. The cadets have been drawn from all the 17 directorates of NCC with commitment to character and community development, leadership and adventure. They get to experience it all in the youth power.
And now, following the NCC boys marching contingent is the combined band of NCC boys Scindia School Gwalior and NCC girls Birla Balika Vidyapeeth Pilani, being led by Senior Under Officer Abhishek Chauhan and Shreksha Gupta. The band is playing the tune Sare Jahan Se Acha. drummers and the trumpeters. They are having a beautiful uniform in white shirts and Scottish checks skirts. Following them is the senior under officer Sonali Sahu of NCC Directorate Odisha, proudly leading the NCC contingent consisting of 148 senior division cadets drawn from all 17 directorates of the NCC.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, under officer Sonali Sahu of NCC Directorate Odisha, we have NCC Girls Marching Contingent consisting of 100.
And following the National Cadet Corps is the National Service Scheme Marching Contingent. They have 148 volunteers in this contingent, and there are 51 directorates and 2 councils within the ambit of the NSS. There are 20,669 colleges and institutions. The contingent is marching under the command of Aanchal Sharma from Himachal Pradesh, and the motto of the National Service Scheme is "Not me, but you." Seva Sarvopari.
चंडीगढ़ के हिमाचल प्रदेश क्षेत्र की आंचल शर्मा के हाथ 148 स्वयं सेवक शामिल शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य
With the beautiful tunes now, we can see massed pipes and drums band. They come in front of you. 128 musicians of the band drawn from 7 regimental centers led by Subedar Major Bhavan Arya of Bengal Engineering Group and Center, assisted by Subedar Major G. Ramu. They are playing the tune Nanda Devi.
Aarti, I really like their uniforms with their red jackets and black trousers.
So true. And look at the synchronization. It has taken hours of practice.
Every Republic Day, Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar are conferred as recognition to children with exceptional abilities and outstanding achievement in the fields of bravery, art and culture, sports, innovation and social service, which deserves recognition. So here we can see, and a round of applause from the crowd here for the winners of Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar. They are all in an open jeep decorated with flowers, and the children are also clapping. A few of the young children sitting with their mother and parents, waving to the crowd, smiling. Such a proud moment for them as well as the parents as well as for us.
Yes, absolutely, Anuja. And we can always rest assured that these brave children who are going to be the citizens of tomorrow will lead India exemplarily in the coming years. And now it is time for the state and UT tableaus. We have this lovely tableau from the state of Andhra Pradesh, Swarna Andhra Pradesh, known as the Rice Bowl of India, the land of Alluri Sitarama Raju, the land of Gurzada Parao, and the Andhra Pradesh tableau is depicting Prabhala Tirtham as festival of peasantry during Makar Sankranti. And it wouldn't be out of place here to mention that a film that was made by S.S. Rajamouli in Telugu, RRR, won 2 Golden Globe Awards and could well get...
Listen, Lasat Borphukan is an incredible embodiment of indomitable courage and valor, sacrifice and patriotism. He was the greatest general in Assam's history. And Ahom king Chitradvij Singha chose Lachit Borphukan to lead the Ahom army against Mughals who led Guwahati. The tableau of Assam comprises of 2 parts: Lasat Borphukan on boat and structural view of sacred Ma Kamakhya temple, Assam. The replica of Shiva Dole and Ronghar of Sipsagar district has been shown as the royal construction of the mighty Ahoms. Bihu dance is what the dancers are going to perform now as they go past the saluting days. Beautiful dancers in their traditional outfit.
Here we can see the tableau of the Union Territory of Ladakh. The tableau of Ladakh exhibits the essence of Ladakh's harmonious relationship with nature and with the rest of the world. The front part depicts the monastic mask dance, chums, followed by development in important sectors like apricot farming, sea buckthorn growth, pashmina, rural tourism and all, within the overall context of the cultural and spiritual heritage of Ladakh. The middle and ground part depict people from different tribes of Ladakh, like Balti, Purji, Ladakhi, Changpa, Shina, Brokpa, and the back part depicts the 7th century Gandhar art-based rock-cut Buddha statues of Mulbeg and Karatika.
And now we have this beautiful tableau from the state of Uttarakhand, which is known as Devbhumi, the land where divinity resides in every particle. The land where on one side is the holy Char Dham and the other the rivers Ganga and Yamuna. We see on this beautiful tableau there is a deer and there is also the peacock, which is the national bird of India. We see the Jageshwar Dham, a group of ancient 125 small and big temples in Manaskhand's Almora district, and the famous Aipan art of Uttarakhand. And the famous Cholia dance is going to be performed just in front of the saluting days.
Now we can see the tableau of Tripura, sustainable livelihood through tourism and organic farming in Tripura with active participation of women. That is what this tableau is depicting and showcasing today. In this tableau, the beautiful Mahamuni Pagoda Buddhist stupa with its base adorned by bamboo reliefs is depicted at the front. The middle part shows various indigenous performing art forms of Tripura. The state has immense potential for development of ecotourism, being endowed with beautiful nature, flora and fauna, rich culture, varied festivals, folk tales, dance, and art forms. The composite culture of Tripura and participation of women in different fields is depicted through SHG Women at Work, women with baskets of pineapple, cottage, tea plantation workers, and women dressed in colorful traditional costumes walking alongside the tableau. And now they are going to go past the saluting days performing their traditional dance.
And now showcasing a resplendent confluence of cultural tradition and scientific orientation, the tableau of Gujarat glorifying the renewable sources of energy, the clean, green, energy efficient Gujarat. Tableau's forefront displays a diorama of girl dressed in Kutchi traditional costume, symbolically holding the inexhaustible sources of unconventional energy, the sun and wind. Originally well known for its unique costumes, novel artifacts, and transcendent white desert, Kutch shall adorn a new identity in future with world's largest solar and wind-powered hybrid renewable energy park taking shape here. Slowly approaching towards us, the tableau from the clean, green, energy efficient state of Gujarat. A recent addition to the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Mudhera has become the first village in the world that gets 24/7 solar energy.
And after the tableau of Gujarat comes the tableau of Jharkhand. The state of Jharkhand houses one of the 12 Jyotirlingas, and this tableau is also depicting Bhagwan Birsa Munda and the famous temple of Vaidnath Dham located in Deoghar. Born in Ulihatu, Lord Birsa Munda was a social reformer and freedom fighter. He revolted against the British and as a result was arrested and hanged. Even today, the tribal society considers him as the god of the earth. The artists are performing paika dance alongside the tableau.
Now the tableau of Arunachal Pradesh. They are showcasing prospects of tourism in Arunachal Pradesh. Well, we can say that Arunachal, known as the land of rising sun in India, is strategically located in the easternmost part, sharing boundaries with Bhutan, China and Myanmar. The attractive portion of the tableau depicts the Doni Polo Airport entrance gate and the state bird, Hornbill, amidst lush green landscape adorned by orchids. Major tribes of the state, attired in traditional dresses, are accompanying besides the tableau. And now, as they go past the saluting days, they perform their traditional dance forms looking very beautiful and colorful.
Tourism in Jammu and Kashmir has achieved a great boost during the recent years and registered a record tourist footfall of 1.62 crores for the first time in the history of 75 years of independent India. Here comes the tableau of Jammu and Kashmir with its theme Naya Jammu and Kashmir, showcasing the pilgrim and recreational tourism potential of the state. The hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir have varied fauna and is home to the once endangered Kashmiri stag. And there we can see on the tableau depiction of a stag, a leopard, and the newly declared UT bird, Kalij pheasant.
After the tableau of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, we have the tableau from God's own country, Kerala, and it is entitled Nari Shakti. Well, we have seen a lot of Nari Shakti since this morning on the 74th Republic Day, especially as it is Basant Panchami and Saraswati Puja. Kerala presents the tableau of Nari Shakti and folk traditions are here. Kerala, in fact, has the highest women's literacy rate in the world and the world's largest women's self-help network, Kudumbasheri. The tableau connects women empowerment with the literacy mission, and this is a women's only tableau. It's indeed Nari Shakti, and they are performing their special traditional dance here in front of the President of India.
Now we can see the Nari Shakti continues as we have Durga Puja being depicted by the tableau of West Bengal. On the trailer, the principal exhibit is the idol of Mother Goddess in traditional Shola or Dakesh Saj, a typical Bengali craft style associated to Durga Puja. Figurines of Dakis and other live elements such as pujaris, worshippers and others surround the idol. The tableau is flanked on each side by women Dakis from West Bengal who are moving on and playing ducks wearing conventional Bengali attire. It is looking purely soulful, is all I can say.
And now the tableau of Maharashtra on the background of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, presenting Sadhe Teen Shakti Peeth and Nari Shakti under the theme Nari Shakti again. Maharashtra is the land of saints and gods. Out of the many Shakti Peeths in the country, Maharashtra has 3.5 Shakti Peeths. Amba Bai of Kolhapur, Ai Bhavani of Tulzapur, Renuka Mata of Mahur, are full Shaktipeets, while Sapta Shringi of Varni is considered as half Shaktipeet. They are approaching towards us. In the front part of the tableau, the Gondali associated with the goddess can be seen playing the instrument Sambhal, an important music instrument related to the goddess. Overall, this tableau showcases the feminine power as well as the intangible heritage of temple style and folk art of Maharashtra.
Next, we have Tamil Nadu, and this tableau also is showcasing women empowerment and the culture of the southern state of Tamil Nadu. And the front portion of the tableau showcases a statue of the ancient poetess Avayar, an icon for intellectual women. She wrote the Atichudi and the Kondrai Vendan among several other finest poems. The statue of Veeramangai Velu Nachiyar riding on a horse is also depicted on this tableau. The middle portion of the tableau showcases statues of eminent women personalities like Carnatic musician Bharat Ratna Dr. M.S. Subbulakshmi, Padma Bhushan Tanjore Balaswaraswati, and Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy. The rear portion of the tableau showcases the replica of the Tanjavur Brihadeshwara temple, and it is a recognized UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Well, women empowerment all the way it is today. We have Karnataka tableau, and it showcases Sulageti Narasimha, a midwife, Tulasi Gauda Halaki, known as Vriksha Mate, and Salumarda Timmaka. Timmaka of Row of Trees have become noted names due to their selfless contribution to the society. The central government honored them with Padma Shri for the country's fourth highest civilian award for their outstanding achievement. The tableau is divided into three parts and shows all these three women achievers.
And who doesn't know Kurukshetra? Kurukshetra is the land of eternal message of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which was delivered by Sri Krishna to Arjun in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The tableau is approaching towards us, which reflects design based on Bhagavad Gita, the greatest intellectual contribution to the mankind. In its entirety, the tableau shows the Lord Krishna serving as charioteer of Arjun and giving him the knowledge of Gita, and radiates an appeal of spirituality, art, and history. The patterns on the sides of the trailer show various scenes from the Battle of Mahabharat. And the front part of the tableau depicts a dialogue between Lord Krishna in his Virat Swarup as he displayed before Arjun. A grand chariot carried by 4 horses running through the Kurukshetra battlefield has also been shown in the rear part of the tableau.
And after the tableau of Haryana, we have the tableau from the Union Territory of Dadra, Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. They are depicting conservation of tribal culture and heritage. The tribal folk dances, Bhavada and Tarpa of the Warli tribe, and fishing activity and the Machi dance of the Machi tribe have been showcased on the tableau. The front part of the tableau displays an anchor from the INS Kukri, the ship which was sunk during the Indo-Pak War of 1971 near the coast of Diu in the Arabian Sea. And it was handed over to the Ministry of Defense last year, and has been kept in a museum. The main trailer shows a large boat which represents the fishing culture of the territory. The name Silva is known as wood in Portuguese is depicted here, and they are performing the Bauda and Tarpa dance of Dadra, Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu.
Now we can see the Ayodhya Deepotsav in the Uttar Pradesh tableau. The tableau showcases Ayodhya Deepotsav as lighting, Saryu Aarti, decoration and illumination of lamps are done in major temples and monasteries in Ayodhya. Year after year, Ayodhya Deepotsav is creating records. This unique tradition is a pious and divine effort to reach the whole world and the entire human race with the message of a harmonious society under Ram Rajya by abolishing negativity and enmity. The dancers are here. They are clad in beautiful yellow lehengas. As we say, it's Basant Panchami and again Nari Shakti.
And we all know that the year 2023 has been declared as the International Year of Millets, and this has been our country's initiative. The year 2023 as declared by the United Nations as the International Year of Millets, and India being the global leader in the production of millets in 21 states with an area of about 12.5 million hectares and share of more than 15% of the world's total production. The tableau of Indian Council of Agricultural Research depicts the flourishing crops of jowar, bajra, ragi, kutki and sanva. The happiness and efforts of farmers are visible to provide society nutritious and healthy millets. And there we can see in the tableau, decorated with a rangoli of millet grains, a combination of traditional farming and modernity. Arrays of new nutritional millet products have been showcased, which is rousing to serve it daily in our food plate.
And after the tableau of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, we have the tableau of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, who are showcasing the Eklavya Model Residential Schools. This is a very good initiative of the Government of India. It is aimed at providing quality education to scheduled tribe students in remote tribal areas. We see on the front of the tableau a girl is getting educated, and there's also a globe that she holds in her hands, symbolic of a will to conquer the world with proper knowledge. And this also is indeed Nari Shakti. A knowledge tree projected towards the end represents the spread of knowledge and wisdom.
An important subject for the Youth Narcotics Control Bureau shows resolve at 75 drug-free India. The front part of the tableau depicts a large humanoid structure suppressing the ill effects of drugs. Large-sized hands in the rear part of the tableau represent citizens of India from all castes, religions and regions, spreading the vision of Nasha Mukt Bharat. On the sides of the tableau, people belonging to different parts of India are shown taking pledge to fight drugs with the motto, "Together we can do it." Beside the tableau, committed to its objective of making the nation drug-free, the personnel of NCB are seen moving along with Narc 9 squad.
And here the next tableau has Nari Shakti again, the tableau of the Combined Armed Police Force, comprising of the BSF, CRPF, CISF, ITBP, SSB and Assam Rifles. Based on the theme Nari Shakti. On top of the tractor portion of the tableau, a larger-than-life statue of a woman combatant is displayed wearing the state-of-the-art combat gear, carrying modern equipment and holding a weapon in alert mode. A tribute to all the gallant women soldiers working relentlessly in the service of the nation.
Yes, indeed. The next tableau is from the Central Public Works Department, or the CPWD, and it is signifying biodiversity conservation. Its theme is biodiversity conservation, but also protection and management of biodiversity to obtain resources for sustainable development. Biodiversity supports everything in nature that we need to survive: food, clean water, medicine and shelter. And we see that there is the cheetah which recently...
It was so beautiful to see all the animals clad in flowers. Now we have the Ministry of Culture. Shakti Rupena Sansitha is what they are showcasing. The tableau is based on the theme Shakti, or women power, and celebrates the divine feminine who resides in and empowers all living beings. The tableau has manifestations of her as Shakti or power, as Buddhi or intellect, and as Lakshmi or prosperity. As these forms of Matri create, maintain, destroy and recreate the entire universe as per Indian tradition. Here the earth and the motherland are also reverted as Matri Shakti. The tableau is a representation of these aforesaid four activities of hers.
And here comes the dance performance we have all been waiting for, Vande Bharat Nritya Utsav. Yes, it is back again for the second year. The Ministry of Defence and the Ministry of Culture present their cultural extravaganza Vande Bharatam with the theme of Nari Shakti. The group consists of 479 artists of age group from 17 to 30, selected through month-long rigorous competition held at various state and zonal levels, thus making it to the national stage at Kartavya. Vande Bharat Nritya Utsav, an all-India dance competition, is an initiative taken by the Ministry of Culture as part of Republic Day celebration for the second consecutive year this time.
Yes,
And
indeed, Anuja, and we see that there are 500 odd artists here, and there are 326 female dancers supported by 153 male dancers. The show has been choreographed by a team of 4 dynamic dance exponents: Jaya Prabha Menon, Kavita Dwivedi, Nibedita Mohapatra and Bhavini Mishra. And the song has been composed by 2 young composers, Raja Bhavatharini and Alokananda Dasgupta. And the grand finale is going to be a real treat for the eyes, and it comprises of classical, folk and contemporary fusion dance depicting the power of women, again Nari Shakti, through the 5 elements: earth, water, air, space and fire.
Dear listeners, the music represents India's unity and diversity in its most colorful spirit and energy, where tradition meets modern, folk meets contemporary, popular meets unexplored in melting pot of style and rhythms.
And Aarti and Anuja, as we see all the performers here at the center of the Kartavya Path, we can also see that the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the chief guest of today's Republic Day celebrations, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, and the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and all other distinguished guests in the saluting days are imbibing every moment of this wonderful performance. Anuja.
yes, Kaushik, the competition is one of a kind campaign that will be held for the second time, giving top dancing talent from across the country the opportunity to perform at the Republic Day Parade this year. The competition was held at the state and zonal level and culminated with the grand finale on the 18th of December 2022 in New Delhi. 500 odd dancers selected in final of Vande Bharat Nritya Utsav are performing on the theme Nari Shakti right in front of us.
The artists perform 4 segments of dance: classical, folk, tribal and contemporary. Huge props, masks, puppets and their grand costumes add to the splendor of the symphony. The theme of Nari Shakti is represented here.
Yes, Aarti, and we can also see the various dance forms of India at their best here. We have the Kathak, we have the Odissi, we have the Manipuri, we have the Chau, and we also have parts of Bhangra and other different dance forms of India which have been portrayed very beautifully in Vande Bharatam Nari Shakti. Today, of course, is Basant Panchami, as we have heralded the season of spring. There is a spring here itself in Kartavya Path, and what is being depicted here is definitely a feast for the eyes. And this is perfect harmony, perfect synchronization between all the 500 plus dancers, male and female, and every person who is present here in the Kartavya Path is enjoying this scintillating performance of Vande Bharatam.
Yes, certainly Kaushik, Vande Bharatam sends a strong message of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam and unity in diversity to the world. The dancers are performing dances from other states, highlighting the spirit of Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. The artists performing here have kept the art and culture of India alive with their passion, taking forward our Indian culture.
Well, this is a unique initiative based on Jan Bhagidari. Dance performance today reflect not only the immense diversity of Indian culture, but it is also shows the vibrant colors and richness. These artists have kept the art and culture of India alive with their passion. For this purpose, a creative team of renowned choreographers, composers, writers, and creative designers were engaged to conceptualize this grand show. The participants are in the age group of 17 to 30.
Yes, Aarti, and we can see, as Anuja mentioned, that this is just what is showcasing Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. We have the traditional Kashmiri dancers performing with their counterparts from Nagaland, and that's a sight to see. Can anyone have thought of it? And now we have the performers here just in front of us, and they are dressed in their traditional Kathak attire, in their Kuchipudi attire, and also in the attires of the tribal
varied
dance
regional
forms.
dance
This
attires,
is
I would
indeed
say.
something which sets this performance apart from all other performance that we have ever witnessed here, either on the Kartavya Path or the Rajpath earlier. Anuja.
Yes, the efforts of these participants are admirable. The amount of hard work and days of practice they must have put in since last few months to give a remarkable performance today. Of course, it is showing here at Rajpath. The synchronization, the steps, it's all in sync. Fantastic combination of colors, dance, rhythm and acrobatics, of course.
Well, their vibrant movements, music, lyrics, costumes and colors depict the stories of the lands they come from. These folk dances are spontaneous expressions of emotions by the simple people of a land, and they're not usually steps and movements that develop from strict formal training and practice of dance form. But yes, the steps and styles of these folk dances eventually do develop to form institutions of their own, where they become lessons in themselves, Anuja.
Yes, the graceful movements looking beautiful without any pauses. They are gently changing to another form. Their balletic movement are so controlled, as if done without any effort, keeping all of us mesmerized.
They are showcasing a canvas of colors, song and dance spreading across the stretch of Kartavya Path. These are the dancers selected very, very carefully after an all-India hunt. They've cleared zonal levels and state levels to be here. What a joy it must be for them performing here in front of the President of India.
Yes, as we all know, dance has no barriers. It is something that everyone can feel, everyone can understand, and definitely something everyone enjoys. Looking at these troupe of dancers move in a rhythmic way is a sheer delight.
Yes, one can't agree more with you, Anuja. And today we see this embodiment of India's more than 5,000-year-old culture, how India has kept it on, nurtured it, and make it grow. Today we are seeing the coming of age of Indian culture, Indian art, and this is something which the guests from abroad who have come here are going to take back and cherish for a very long time to come. And as we are telling all our listeners again and again that every person who's present here on Kartavya Path today is indeed proud of India's rich culture, and this is only a very but small piece of what India really has to offer. And kudos to all the performers and the choreographers and the musicians who have made this like a dream coming true. Arti?
Yes, like we would say that Nari Shakti, women empowerment is what is being depicted today at the 74th Republic Day celebrations. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sansita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Every woman who awakens courage within herself is Durga. Every woman who awakens transformation within herself is Kali. Every woman who awakens devotion within herself is Parvati. Every woman who awakens nurturing within herself is Annapurna. Every woman is Shakti. That's what we can see.
Yes, our Prime Minister Shri Modi envisioned Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in the spirit of Jan Bhagidari, and this showcases the celebrations and programs to the grassroots level involving the people from across India. And they are being watched not only in India but across the globe. Also, connecting the youth to our heritage and culture is an essential component of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This confirms the spirit of, as we said, Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, taking the entire country forward.
Yes, indeed, Arti and Anuja. This enthralling performance, which has been going on for nearly 10 minutes now, is really mesmerized the crowds here. And we can assure you, dear listeners, that after 3 years, the crowds are back here at the Kartavya Path in full glory. Though it's a bit chilly and cloudy over here at the Kartavya Path today, but the people have braved the weather and are present here. We now see a group of Bhangra artists performing before the saluting bays, and the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the chief guest for this year's Republic Day function, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, and the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, the three service chiefs and others are enjoying this scintillating performance.
Folk dances and the traditional dances bring uniqueness and novelty to our Indian culture. These winners have got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to display their talent at the parade. And it started since last year. And now the groups trying to.
Well, the crowd is cheering for them. What a wonderful, wonderful sight. The lyrics were Nari Shakti Hai. Yes, a woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. Anuja.
Yes, the efforts of these participants are really admirable, Aarti. And now slowly they are leaving the Kartavya path, moving towards to ahead, and the troops are clearing the way for the next display at Kartavya path now. And soon we'll be having the dare delivery act coming alive with some electrifying and daredevil performances by the armed forces on motorcycle very soon in a vibrant ceremony. And for that we have to wait and watch when they come alive here. And of course, leading the corps of the signals for the Daredevils team in today's parade will be the dynamic MCRDT Daredevils team captain Ashish Rana. Yes, and for that we go to our colleague Bhuvan Apurja. Over to you, Bhuvan.
Thank you. Welcome back, dear listeners, as our special Republic Day coverage continues on the national network of All India Radio as we come to you live from the iconic Kartavya Path. Today we have a special treat for all the motorheads out there as I can spot a special motorcycle display by the brave hearts of the Corps of Signals, their Devils team, being presented before all attending on this momentous day, on this auspicious day, on our 74th Republic Day, leading the Corps of Signals Daredevils team in today's parade, the dynamic captain of the Daredevils team, Captain Ashish Rana, saluting smartly on top of 10.5 feet ladder, presenting a salute to the Honorable Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India. Just behind him, the pride of the Corps of Signals, the Jimmy formation, showcasing a swift and secure trait being performed by Lance Nayak, Desai, Ajit. These are extremely potent individuals with immense training, and all attendees on the Kartavya Path up on their feet as the next formation now approaching. Just behind the Jimmy formation, the yoga display showcasing the coordination of the mind and the body. Naik Swapnil A performing Surya Namaskar on his motorcycle. May I inform you, dear listeners, that the team has also made the world record of 50 yoga positions on a single motorcycle. Some of those being presented by Lance Naik, Ajay Yadav. As just behind them, we have the signal fighter carrying signals by Havaldar S.K. Singh and 6 daredevils on one motorcycle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 6 daredevils on a single motorcycle. A state-of-the-art formation presenting a salute to the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. And just after the signal fighter formation, we had the signal rocket formation. The Corps of Signals Daredevils team displaying their trademark courage and fearlessness. Naik Sumit Kumar Yadav and Naik Misal Gajanan with 2 other daredevils in the daredevils formation. The signals rocket formation now passing by the base of the main saluting dais, saluting the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. And thereafter we have the turn of the ladder formation. One individual atop a ladder on a moving motorcycle. Unbelievable stunts here. A world record being created, being presented by Havaldar Sujit Mondal. And following the conveyor belt of daredevilry continuing in the special broadcast with the signals Rath, which depends on the zeal and enthusiasm of the dedicated soldiers. The motorcyclists being led by Naik R.S. Shekhawat, signalman S.S. Meera with 4 other daredevils. Just behind the signals Rath, we have the Abhimanyu formation being led by Havaldar Gamit Pramesh and Havaldar Pramod Patil with 12 daredevils. The Corps of Signals, the flag top of it, taking the pride and valor with the flying colors fluttering on this cool overcast morning here in New Delhi. After the superb performance of the Abhimanyu team, we have the pride of the Corps of Signals, the Info Warriors, being performed by Havaldar Anil Kumar with 9 other daredevils. And thereafter that, we have the Info Warriors sequence now being performed by Naik Jayakumar, and with, believe it or not, 9 daredevils on a single motorcycle. All boundaries being pushed here by the Corps of Signals Daredevils team as the cluster of birds now approaching the main saluting dais. A unique scenery of courageous and fearlessness. And now a shining example of Nari Shakti on India's newest boulevard, Vice Captain Lieutenant Dimple Singh Bhati, smartly standing on the seat of the motorcycle leading the pyramid just behind it, the last but not the least, testing the potential of not just the men and women but also the motorcycles that they're riding to unimaginable limits. 33 daredevils being led by Subadar Prapat Singh and a team of 8 daredevils making a human pyramid of 33 men on 9 motorcycles. All attendees here on the Kartavya path up on their feet applauding the daredevils of the Corps of Signals team. And ladies and gentlemen, after that exhilarating display by the brave hearts of the Corps of Signals, may I inform you that just in a few seconds from now, the Indian Air Force will be turning up the heat at Kartavya Path here on our 74th Republic Day. Dear listeners, we will now be turning our attention skywards, waiting the arrival of the jets and helis of the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army, and the Indian Navy, as the Republic Day 74th will be drawing to a culmination after that. First up, we will have the Buzz formation, ladies and gentlemen, comprising 3 MiG-29 aircrafts. The formation will be flying in Vic Echelon, and I can inform you, dear listeners, that I can hear the roar and the hum of the approaching MiG-29s. All individuals up on their feet. Children have the best spot in the house, the parents' shoulders, no doubt. One hopes that many of them go back inspired and committed, as I can see, and I can spot at the horizon the jets and the helis approaching in sequence. First up, the Buzz formation, comprising 3 MiG-29 aircrafts. We have the Prachand formation approaching with one light combat helicopter in lead with 2 Apache helicopters and 2 advanced light helicopters Mark 4s in Echelon, flying in an arrowhead formation, just passing by the main saluting days, presenting an aerial salute to the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces. Also in attendance, Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, His Excellency President El-Sisi of the Arab Republic of Egypt, all applauding the Prachand formation which just passed by the main saluting days on Republic Day the 74th near Kartavya Path. Thereafter, we have the Tiranga formation, the world famous, the world renowned, the Sarang team of the Indian Air Force will be approaching from the side of Raisina Hill. The Tiranga formation, may I inform you, dear listeners, will be comprising 5 Sarang advanced light helicopters, flying in a ladder formation, streaming the tricolour. Everyone's mobile phones out, and who can blame them? These are extremely rare sounds, extremely rare machines that one gets to watch, and everyone wants to catch a piece of that attention. Individuals up on their feet, neck straining from left to right. Neck spasms don't matter tonight, do they, listeners? When the best, the meanest, the fittest of Indian Air Force, Indian Army and the Indian Navy is on display, you watch. You get inspired. And that's what's happening here. All individuals up on their feet, capturing these very rare sounds and very rare sights on an extremely auspicious day, on a Republic Day, the 74th. May I inform you the sequence of the approaching jets and helis. We had the Prachand formation, thereafter we'll have the Tiranga formation, the Tangel formation, the Vajrang formation, the Garud formation, thereafter the Netra, the Bhim, the Amrit, the Trishul, and the Vijay. All will be passing by one, presenting an aerial salute to all the dignitaries who are present here on this very auspicious and momentous day. As I can see, that the Tangel formation, comprising 1 Dakota aircraft in lead with 2 Dornier aircrafts in Echelon, flying in Vic formation, presenting an aerial salute to the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. May I inform you, dear listeners, that on this very day, we'll all be bearing witness to several of Indian Air Force's best mean machines, be it the C-130J, the MiG-29s, the Apache helicopters, advanced light helicopters, the Sarang team, all shall be making an appearance May I also inform you that the Garud formation will also be coming in with IL-38 and AN-32, now presenting an aerial salute to the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. All necks straining upwards, trying to catch a glimpse on this extremely overcast day. It is extremely overcast here, windy here, but that has not stopped the exuberance, the josh amongst all who are attending on this very special day, wanting to catch a glimpse of all these mean machines of the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army and the Indian Navy. May I inform you, dear listeners, that now approaching from the side of Rashtrapati Bhavan is the Netra formation, the state-of-the-art Netra, comprising one advanced early warning and control aircraft with, believe it or not, 4 Rafales, 2 on either side that will be flanking it. The Netra formation is capable of detecting enemy aircrafts and directing our own destroyers to annihilate them. The Netra presenting an aerial salute to Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. Just behind it, the Bheem formation, the cutting-edge all-weather C-17 aircrafts with 2 Sukhoi 30s in echelon, streaming fuel and flying past in big formation. The C-17 is a massive aircraft, dear listeners. It's a humongous aircraft, capable of flying from semi-prepared surfaces. It has seen extensive usage in the Western theatre and now is being used in the Eastern theatre too. After the transporters, dear listeners, we shall now await the arrival of the attackers, the destroyers. As the Rafales now pass by the main saluting base, India's newest mean machine, our pride, our enemies and our adversaries' envy, the Rafale presenting an aerial salute to the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, flying in an arrowhead formation just 100 meters above ground level north of Kartavya Path. May I inform you once again, dear listeners, that it's an extremely overcast day and I wouldn't hold it against anyone if they are looking upwards and finding it difficult to spot the best, the fittest, the meanest of Indian Air Force. Mobile phones out. Everyone's straining their neck from left to right. Children also looking to catch a glimpse. Men, women, all standing on their feet. There's not a single soul who's sitting right now. As we have the C-17, the massive C-17, flying extremely low, may I add, to compensate for the lack of visibility here on this very overcast day here in New Delhi. The C-17 passing by the main saluting days, presenting an aerial salute to the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. After the C-17, dear listeners, we await the arrival of the attackers, our destroyers. 6 Jaguar aircrafts will be flying past the water channel north of Kartavya Path in arrowhead formation. The Jaguars capable of striking deep, not just into enemy hearts, but also enemy territory. They'll be approaching the saluting days from the side of Rashtrapati Bhavan, Raisina Hill, flying just in front of us near the main saluting days, then to my right over the India Gate and National War Memorial Complex. The Jaguar strike deep penetration aircrafts will be flying in an arrowhead formation and then will be flying out of our eyesight over the National War Memorial and India Gate complex. Once again, may I inform you it's an extremely overcast day, it's an extremely windy day, but that has not stopped the josh of our airmen, and there they come! That's the roar of the Jaguars, dear listeners, as they fly past in arrowhead formation, presenting an aerial salute to all the dignitaries present on our 74th Republic Day in this live and exclusive special Republic Day broadcast coming to you from Kartavya Path in New Delhi. After the Amrit formation, we await the arrival of our Sukhoi 30s Mark 1s, which will be making a Trishul formation at a speed of, and hold your breath, 900 kilometers per hour over the water channel north of Kartavya Path. The formation will pull up and outwards for the Trishul maneuver. The Sukhoi 30s, I can hear the hum of the Sukhoi 30s from the side of Raisina Hill, just over Rashtrapati Bhavan from my left. And there they come, streaming fuel and veering off in 3 different directions. The Trishul formation just passing by the base of the main saluting days, presenting an aerial salute to Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, also present Vice President Dhankar, Honorable Prime Minister Modi, His Excellency President El-Sisi of the Arab Republic of Egypt, all applauding, all acknowledging the bravery and the daredevilry that is being put on display here. First we had the motorcycle display by the Corps of Signals, and thereafter being followed by this exhilarating air show by the men and women of the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army, and the Indian Navy. And there it comes, the final piece de resistance. A single Rafale flying in at a speed of 900 kilometers per hour, pulling up for vertical Charlie and carrying out several stunts and turns. Daredevilry at its finest as the Rafale goes up into the cloudy New Delhi sky, into this overcast sky. The pièce de résistance this morning. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we head to the culmination of the parade. But before I hand over to my colleagues at the saluting days, may I add that let no evil eye be cast upon this holy land of ours, for our brave airmen and women on the air, our soldiers on the land, and our naval force in the sea remains ever steadfast and vigilant and committed to protect the territorial integrity of the Republic of India, our Ma Bharati. On that note, I'll take you back to the main saluting days to my colleagues. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Bhuvan, for the live update. It was absolute full of josh. That was the sky roaring with our heroes of the sky flying in their mean machines. What a sight, what might, what adrenaline rush. Well, now, looking below the sky, on the ground, enhancing the beauty of Kartavya Path is the beautiful artistic flower arrangement, giving it an extraordinary look. Lilies, roses, daisies, carnations, orchids, and gladulas, making it a spectacular view, dear listeners. Delightful, enchanted, exotic, cheerful, and radiant are the adjectives that come to my mind. The President's enclosure has beautiful flowers adorned depicting Varli art in beautiful marigold. A yellow flower sings by itself for nobody. A golden spirit sings without a word by itself. Let no one touch this gentle sun in whose dark eye someone is awake. A golden heaven by itself, a song to nobody. And now we can see the President's bodyguard going to the saluting days to escort the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu.
Yes, Aarti, smiles all around, cheers all around. India's military valor and cultural diversity and our socio-economic progress was celebrated here at Kartavya Path. The preparation for the parade begins 6 months before the event. Of course, our gratitude to our chief guest who honored us with his gracious presence today. with the playing of the national anthem. Now, slowly, the whole celebration at Kartavya Path comes to an end, as we'll slowly see the president along with the chief guest leaving the Kartavya Path and moving towards President's house very soon. We can see the fleet of cars coming in slowly at Kartavya Path right in front of the
Yes,
saluting
Anuja,
base.
and we can see the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, and the chief guest for the 74th Republic Day function, His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of Egypt. They are descending from the specially erected saluting days here. We can also see the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, waving to the crowds and the crowds waving back. And also the Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, the three service chiefs, and the other dignitaries on the dais are slowly descending from these saluting days as the president and the chief guest would be moving towards their vehicles.
Well, over here, a beautiful sight. Ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners, on the occasion of the celebration and share, gratitude and thankfulness have always been sent to the infinite, and we can see those in the tricolor balloons up in the sky. The rising balloons are exuding a childlike enthusiasm in their hurry to go higher and higher, reminding us of our duty towards the younger generations and the need to prepare them for the future on strong foundations of inclusive education and vocational training.
Meanwhile,
And
we
now,
can see the president, honorable president, along with the chief guest, the president of Egypt, moving towards her vehicle.
Yes, Anuja, and the three service chiefs and the Chief of Defence Staff saluted the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Forces, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, and who now waves towards the crowds here, and the crowds wave back. And the President having a word with the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and the Prime Minister offering a namaskar and shaking hands with the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, is now entering her vehicle, and the chief guest, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, is also in the same vehicle as the President of India, and the presidential bodyguard, led by its commandant, Colonel Anup Tiwari, will be escorting the President and the chief guest back to the Rashtrapati Bhavan from the saluting days here at Kartavya Path. All the vehicles of the presidential motorcade are ready, and now we see what a sight it is indeed. Anuja and Aarti, the trots and the gallops of the bays and dark bays, mounts of the presidential bodyguard are slowly moving away from the saluting days, going through the Kartavya Path, and would be reaching Rashtrapati Bhavan in just a short while from now.
Yes, Kaushik, we may recall on the eve of the Republic Day yesterday, our Honorable President hailed the Constitution and the spirit of India and stated that the country has succeeded as a democratic republic because various creeds and different languages have united the country. Of course, she also reiterated her belief in India's leadership in G20. Of course, this year, 2023, will be key to India from the foreign policy's point of view. This is the first time that India will host the summit of the group that includes the richest nations as well as the emerging economies of the world. We are slowly but surely emerging as a player in the world stage. The theme for India's presidency is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and our Prime Minister made it clear that the G20 presidency will work to promote this universal sense of oneness. Hence our theme, One Earth, One Family, One Future.
and now, dear listeners, we can see that the Vice President of India is departing. And over.
Yes, indeed, Aarti, the Vice President of India, is conveying his namaskar to the Prime Minister and the Raksha Mantri and the Vice President, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar and Srimati Dhankar have entered the Vice Presidential vehicle, and they will be now leaving from the saluting days and going towards the Kartavya Path and on to Maulana Azad Road, where the Vice President's residence is located. The Vice Presidential motorcade is now moving away from the Kartavya Path.
Yes, Kaushik, the celebration today reminding us every moment. Let's not take our independence for granted. Let's do our bit to make India a better place, a legacy to live for, and a legacy to die for. Let us remember the golden heritage of our country and feel proud to be a part of an ever shining India. And there we can see the Prime Minister, as always, he is walking down the Kartavya Path and going towards the across the
Yes,
booth.
you're absolutely right, Anuja. And these are those special people, the special guests who are here at the 74th Republic Day celebrations. These workers and the vendors, the rickshawalas, here is craving for a selfie, for a picture, and indeed it would be a priceless picture for anyone who's present here today. The energy, the dynamism, and just what the outpouring of love for the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is all on display here at Kartavya Path.
Yes, certainly he's the leader of the masses, the leader of the common man. And there we can see him waving to the crowd, and the people there also equally energetic to take a glimpse of the Prime Minister here.
Well,
What a
I think, Anuja, these are the things that make our Prime Minister the most famous global leader of today, isn't it? And talking about leading the nation, I think Man Ki Baat, the radio program hosted by PM Narendra Modi, is going to reach its 100th episode in the month of April. And what a feat that is. And the first show of Man Ki Baat was broadcast on 3rd October 2014. And I would say that the program is India's first visually enriched radio program, and the main purpose of the program is to establish a dialogue with the citizens on issues of day-to-day governance. It aims to deliver the Prime Minister's voice and ideas to the general masses of India. Anuja.
Yes, Arti, and not only today, tomorrow he's going to interact with the exam warriors, because soon the students are going to take the exams in the month of February and March, and Pariksha Pe Charcha. That program will be held tomorrow along with the Prime Minister. That's the initiative of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, and there we can see.
Yes, absolutely, Anuja. After Pariksha Pe Charcha would be again Man Ki Baat this Sunday on the 29th of January. The Honorable Prime Minister has got into his vehicle and is now waving to the people here, and all the security personnel are also along with him. The Prime Minister is waving from his vehicle, and there is a security enclosure all around him. The Prime Minister's motorcade is going towards the Vijay Chowk, from where the motorcade will be going towards Lok Kalyan Marg, the official residence of the Prime Minister of India. And what a morning it has been. And we can still see, as we crane our necks, that the Prime Minister is still waving to all those who are present here. And most of the people, though the Republic Day parade and pageantry got over some time back, are still here to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister, to take a picture of the Prime Minister. And the motorcade is going, rather I would say meandering slowly from the saluting bays towards Vijay Chowk. And all the security personnel who are around the Prime Ministerial motorcade are walking alongside, and the Prime Ministerial motorcade is now moving away from the Kartavya Path, and the Prime Minister waving towards the crowds is now got on to his vehicle, and the motorcade is moving on. And it has been really a day to recollect what a journey India has had over the last 7.5 decades as an independent country. Today, we can say that it is the world's fifth largest economy, and this year our economy is going to touch about 3.7 trillion, and by 2025 India is expected to become a $5 trillion economy. Our exports are almost 600 billion this year, and foreign exchange reserves are well above $560 billion. We have 40% share in global digital economy out of US dollars 7 billion per annum. Our GDP growth rate touched 7.5% in 2022 despite 2 years of COVID. We have seen tremendous growth in agriculture, in horticulture, and all other fields and whatnot. Yet, India remains steadfast as a nation on the move, an aspirational nation, a nation of the youth. India has huge democratic dividend. Yet, India is so united in its diversity. We have so many languages, so many religions, so many dialects. Yet, as the Prime Minister says, that रंग अनेक पर तिरंगा एक, भाषा अनेक पर भाव एक, राज्य अनेक पर राष्ट्र एक. And as everyone knows what the famous Kannada poet Kuttappa Venkatappa Puttappa, better known as Kuvempu, said, Nanu alive, Ninu alive, Namma elubugal mele, Muudubudu Navabharatada Leele. I will pass, you will pass, but on our bones will arise the great tale of a new India. And on that note, on behalf of the technical team led by Sri Balkishan and technical team members Kailash Kumar Ran, Shaktidhar Dhyani, Ashok Kumar Mishra, V. Ravindranath, Neeraj Tirki, Babulal Meena, Nakul Kumar, Tejendra Singh, Shubhrata Mallik, H.C. Joshi, Prakash Chandra Thapliyal, Kamal Singh, Sumit Katiyar, Sanjay Jain, Shri Ram Sharma, Bhagwan Singh, Narinder Nath, Sunil Kumar, O.P. Bharti, Kiran Pal Singh, Ripan Kumar, Atul Kumar, Rajesh Kumar, S. Minj, Vishal, Shantanu Ghosh, Anupama Sharma, Sangeeta, Satish Kumar Sharma, and Braj Kishore, our head of programs, Manohar Singh Rawat, and program team members, Pankaj Patipathak, Vikram and Jagmohan, and overall program coordinator Shri Pramod Kumar Vats, and my fellow commentators Bhuvan Apurva Jha, Anuja Kumar, and Aarti Karthik. This is Kaushik Rai once again greeting you on the 74th Republic Day and taking you back to the studios of All India Radio, Delhi.
You are listening to the running commentary of the Republic Day Parade and the cultural pageant from Kartavya Path in New Delhi, organized on the